All right, there we go. We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pastrami Nation Popcorn. It is the show dedicated to movies, TV shows, and everything cinematic. My name is Nolan Smith, and joining us today we have Rebecca Benson.
Hello.
And we have the host of Popcorn, Mr. Kevin Hoskinson.
Hey guys, how's it going?
I think we're probably doing far better than you right now, sir.
Yeah, we could let's just talk about it. Let's just get it out there. Let's just
I would
discuss.
throw a spoiler warning. So, guys, we're going to talk spoilers about the last episode of Supernatural.
Yes, very last episode.
Spoilers.
So be prepared, guys. Yeah, it was definitely an experience. So as you guys know, it's like my favorite show of all time. I think it really clicked with me at a certain point in my life, and it's been with me for a show that's only supposed to run 5 years to get 15 years. That's pretty impressive. But as you guys know, it's like when you're watching a TV show, you become emotionally attached to them, to the characters, especially if you resonate with them in some way. And I've felt that way with, Sam and Dean for the last 15 years. Like they were around before my son was even born, and they were like the one go-to, like the one kind of constant, you've had a lot of stuff, anyone who knows me personally kind of knows, been through a lot of stuff, but they were always there. As weird as it sounds, like they were almost like a comfort blanket. It's how I dealt with a lot of anxieties.
Right.
Yeah. Like a lot of my anxieties, a lot of my stress, a lot of everything, I come home, you just throw on Supernatural. It's still going to be there, but it's not going to be the same in a way. Like you're not going to look forward to the new episodes to kind of see what happens next in their lives. Since we could talk about spoilers, let's
spoiler alert. Yeah,
spoiler alert, definitely. So there was a point about halfway through the episode where you're like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. Like the boys are gonna live their life the way they should. The last episode before this, everything changed. Like everything was the main story arc was finished. It was a season finale, and it finished the main arc. It left the boys in a spot where they were comfortable. Everything's going to be fine. You're like, honestly, in my head, I was like, how are they going to end it after this? This is the perfect ending. No more. But then there was one more episode left, which was the series finale.
And it was big.
It was big. Yeah. Yeah, it was big. So about halfway through the episode, since we're talking spoilers, Dean dies. Like he's
it took a lot for you to say that too.
Dude, like watching it, I could not believe it. I almost was like, so throughout the whole 15 years, like to be 100% honest, they've died and come back about 3 or 4 times each.
Right. Yeah.
They've literally been to hell and back. Like, I don't know how many times, they've been back and forth. They've come back, but there is something very final about this one after what happened in the last episode that you knew that there was no chance of them coming back now. And I saw it, and I had my hand over my mouth the whole time. Like I was like, this is not how it ends. This is not how it ends. So they kill him off about halfway through the episode, and the rest of it's just Sam dealing with his brother. Like his brother's gone now, like his only family that he's known for, they've been on this journey for 15 years. Like it's just been them two. Like there's, they haven't had any like real relationships with people. No, no girlfriends, no families, no nothing. They just had each other because the life of a hunter, they can't have a family.
Right. That's your responsibility.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of your curse. And that's all they knew. And it was just Sam just dealing with that. And you see Dean up in heaven finally. Like he's at peace, he's happy, he's heaven. It's been kind of portrayed as this totally different place throughout the episodes, but now it's this totally kind of open, just wonderful place the way it should be. You know what I mean? Like it's heaven. And you just go through the years. Dean's in heaven. Sam, he's living his life. He has a kid. He names his son Dean, and it's this beautiful like montage of him living his life and growing old, and his son grows up, and there's little scenes of him like helping him with his homework and like being a dad, being a normal person. Um, and then you go through his whole life, and then he eventually passes away too of old age, and then they're reunited in heaven, and they get in the Impala, and that's it. So they're finally like it's the only way the show could have ended, but I mean, because they're finally at peace. They're finally at a place where they don't have to do their jobs anymore. They could finally be free in a weird way, even though they're both deceased now, but they're living in heaven. They have their mom and dad are there.
Bobby's there.
Bobby's there. Couldn't ask for anything more. So it was actually like I said, it was the only way the series could have ended, and they did a phenomenal job. And I teared up more than once sitting on the couch, and it's been quite the journey. Like I said, 15 years, like that's a long time to be with these characters, and the show's had its up and downs. It's not, when you have that many seasons, you're bound to,
not everything's gonna be a home run.
Yeah. Like there's a couple seasons where honestly I'm just like, I don't know what they were thinking, but I mean, you still stick with them with the journey, and they're like family to you. You come home, and every Thursday night, like they were on TV, and it was a big deal, and it's kind of been a big deal in my household. My kids aren't too interested in the show, but they'll watch it if it's on, and they've known it as like a constant throughout their lives because it's always on. Right. I remember one time, I think my son, he was like 6 or 7, and we were talking about like, he was going to bed, and we were talking about like don't let the monsters get you or whatever. And he turned around and he's like, I know they won't, because Sam and Dean will get them for me. And it's just like those kind of things.
Like, not anymore. No.
Yeah, exactly. Not anymore. But the thing is, obviously it's 15 years. The show will always be there. It'll be, on Netflix or whatnot. They're talking, they're both up for, coming back at some point, to do something like, whether it's a mini series or, which I don't know how they're going to pull that off now.
Supernatural,
right? Supernatural,
Highway to Heaven crossover.
Dude, that would be awesome. I would watch that in a heartbeat. Highway to Heaven, man. That was a good show. Michael Landon, man.
Michael Landon.
Yeah. Michael Landon. That's crazy. Did you know, by the way, this is really off subject, but Michael Landon's son, Christopher Landon, he did the Happy Death Day movies, and he directed that freaky movie.
When you said the last name before, I was like,
yeah. That's his son. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I follow him on Twitter, so like on his dad's birthday, he'll like bring up these memories and stuff.
I was such a big fan of Mike. Like,
dude, yeah, like Highway to Heaven and like Little House on the Prairie, I'd watch too. Right. Like, I mean, that show's classic. But anyways, yeah, Supernatural had quite a hell of a run. It's I
like that, hell of a run.
It's hell of a run, exactly. And they'll forever be, Sam and Dean. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do next. I know Sam, obviously, Jared Padalecki is going to be in the Walker Texas Ranger reboot. And, of course, Dean Jensen Ackles is going to be in season 3 of The Boys. So, they still have their careers, They're not dead.
You know what he said? He's like, they still have their careers. But it's not supernatural.
It's not supernatural. I mean, I got the tattoo, one of my first tattoos, wearing a Supernatural shirt. I had to kind of show off these guys just to, RIP a little bit, but these guys, Sam and Dean.
Dressing up as agents, yeah.
Yeah, these are the agent ones. These ones are like super like hard to find now too, though. Like they're worth quite a bit, but I'm only missing like 2 out of my Supernatural pop collection, which I need to get onto. But yeah, it's been quite a journey, and it'll be, and one thing I did love about the show too was it was always kind of one of those things where it was more than just, them hunting monsters. It really did have Jared Padalecki specifically is a huge advocate for mental health. Like he's like massive, like, and one of the the great things about being in the Supernatural family is that they were very much about, fighting your demons and moving on, and no matter what life throws at you. Like that was kind of the underline of the show. They were always fighting these demons, they're always fighting these things, but no matter how hard it got, they always pulled through, and they always, kept on going. And I think that's a really powerful message, and that's one of the reasons why I got the tattoo, because it reminded me of that. Like just keep pushing through, no matter how hard life gets, just keep going. So yeah,
right. I think that's a reoccurring theme for a lot of people.
mm-hmm.
I have a friend, Lynette, and she's had a lot of things happen in her life, and she has been consistently a fan of Supernatural since day one.
She's awesome.
Supernatural cons and
that's cool.
Done all that, so I know she's probably extremely bummed to see it end. But I mean, like you said, this is how it had to end, because they weren't going to find peace while they're still alive. Like
right,
there's always
exactly
somebody to hunt.
Exactly. It would just been a constant battle, and they needed this, and it was time. It was time for them to go. Like I said, 15 years, that's a long time. A lot of shows don't get that opportunity.
No, they made history.
Yeah, they made history. Like it's insane how, for being like on the CW too, and like it's still. I was reading like about their like statistics, how well they do on Netflix. Like it's constantly finding an audience. Like even though it's 15 years old, people are still discovering it and finding it. I mean, there are like, 15-year-old girls that are obsessed with it, or like, it's insane. Like just how hard it hit so many different people from different walks of lives. And yeah, it's just it's been fun. So,
and let me go ahead and say, if you're watching this, you're a Supernatural fan, let us know your thoughts on it ending, thoughts on the episode. We do have some comments. So Rich Frank says, what's up, evening, everyone? Hello, Rich. Heather says, hello. Rich says, anyone get the Linebreaker Ronin 2 tonight? No, sir. Did you? I did not. And Sean Tracy put, what's up, everyone? What's up, Sean? What are your thoughts on it, Rebecca? I know you didn't follow, like me, you didn't follow Supernatural all the way through. Like I saw the first maybe season and a half. I kind of spoiled it for you, and so did Kevin. How do you think about that ending? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like Kevin said, I think it was the perfect way to go. I mean, yeah, and I probably would have bawled my eyes out. Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much did.
Impact, because it had been so long, and I knew of Jared Padalecki before all that, so just to see kind of the completion of that part of his acting career,
Yeah, now he gets to be Walker, Texas Ranger. I mean,
right,
big shoes to fill with Chuck Norris.
Yeah, he's done. Like my wife knew him from Gilmore Girls.
That's how I did it. Yeah,
where he played Dean.
Yes, I know.
Dean in Gilmore Girls, which I thought was really funny.
Right, and then House of Wax, the remake that they did.
Oh yeah, with Paris Hilton.
Yep.
That was actually a good movie. I actually like that movie. But he was also in the Friday the 13th remake too.
Oh, that's right.
He was looking for his sister and ran into Jason and had some problems with that.
Where the two guys go off, because we know their immediate plans.
Mm-hmm.
On the internet, Jensen Ackles he's not trying to keep it a secret. He wants to play Red Hood in the DCU.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He would love to be Jason Todd. And, I mean, to be the Robin that was beaten to death and you come back as a vigilante, yeah, he can pull that off. He has that cool guy.
He did the voice in Under the Red Hood, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and he really wants to be that live-action version. So
I'd watch that, yeah.
Yeah. It'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, it would be very cool to see what they do next. Everybody too. I mean, they've had all these wonderful. You had Jim Beaver who plays Bobby, Felicia Day, just like all these just incredible. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, was their dad, and Negan was their dad, and I'm blanking on a lot of the names right now for some reason, but how these characters, Misha Collins, Castiel, like he was my favorite character, like Major, and what they did to him last episode just totally destroyed me, and I was like, okay.
Did they kill him?
Oh yeah, well he sacrificed himself. Like there was basically a portal coming through, and he he's had a very interesting, where he was becoming more and more human by the day. He's an angel. He came down.
Right.
And there's this very last scene in the last episode, right? So he pulls, I think it's season 5. He comes in, he pulls Dean out of hell. When he pulls him out, he puts his hand on his shoulder. So Dean has this scar right here of a hand. The very last episode, when Castiel was sacrificing himself, he put his hand on Dean's jacket, and it's a very subtle thing, but like you watch it and like you just see that the same handprint, but except it's outside of his jacket before he sacrifices himself.
Oh,
so he brought him in, and then it's just all these little things, and his like goodbye was just like
they got you with the
heartbreaking. Like,
punch, man.
What's that?
They got you with the 1-2 punch with that the
Dude.
previous episode and then the last one.
Yeah, man, I would love to see Misha Collins do more stuff. Like I haven't seen him in a whole lot of stuff, but he's definitely like he's one of the best. Like he's a great actor.
As you know, myself and my brother Jason, we go to Comic-Con a lot. One time we were outside of Comic-Con, and we're like at the behind San Diego Comic-Con. So it was on the water, and you have the bike taxis going back and forth, right?
Yeah.
There was a bike taxi going back and forth delivering pizzas, and it was Misha Collins. And he was just doing it for the heck of it to surprise fans and to to have fun.
Yeah, man, that whole cast are so generous. It's like Misha and Jared, and Misha's well known for just being like one of the nicest, like generous guys on the planet. Like he loves the fans. Like he has an organization too. I can't remember what it is, but the whole idea of it is to do things for your community and to be a better person and to go out there and make change.
I love that. Using your, celebrity, status to do good in the world.
Yeah. Like, and he does this scavenger hunt every year too, that a bunch of people join in on. And a lot of the goals of the thing are to like, take a picture of you, like helping someone carry their groceries or like something little like that. It's just all like just this incredible stuff. So, they'll be missed, but they're still around. They're still going to make stuff. They're still going to help people. So
inside, Kevin's a mess right now.
I am a complete mess right now. Like, it's so hard for me to believe like there's no more episodes left. Like there's no more like new episodes left. Like it's so like
you could get another Scooby-Doo one.
I hope they do. Yeah, see, there it is right there. Scooby.
Yeah.
Scooby Natural.
Scooby.
One of the best episodes, but yeah. So it'll take me about a week to get over it and they're not real people. They're just characters. But
but the impact's still there.
Yeah, the impact is definitely still there. So yeah. So yeah, you guys check out Supernatural on Netflix. I think it's actually moving to HBO Max next year. I think all the CW stuff is going to HBO Max. So I think this season is premiering on Netflix probably within the next couple of weeks. They've been really quick with their turnaround on the CW shows. So,
but everything's been on HBO Max, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, there's one thing that was on HBO Max this week.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it?
Yeah.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. Yeah. 7 years. Oh my goodness.
Right.
So how was it, guys? I haven't had the chance to watch it yet. I tell me about it. I just haven't got to it yet.
It was a blast. It was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
You laughed, you cried, and you remembered. It was fun.
It was extremely well done. A lot of them, like the group reminiscing, watching clips of episodes.
Yes.
A very touching tribute to James Avery.
Yes.
Who, I mean, you saw the reaction in all the actors' faces. Like, you can't fake that. Like, there was just so much love for the man, for what he did there, and they talked about how like he was like a father figure to me. He did care about us,
right.
And you got to learn a little bit about him too. Like his dressing room always had the jazz music going.
Yeah.
He had the best music going all the time.
That is cool.
I thought that part was cool. A lot of the episodes we mentioned before on a popcorn.
Yes, they mentioned. Yes,
really.
Right on track. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed the "Give me the gun, Carlton" part,
and getting pulled over.
Oh yeah,
yep.
And then and "Don't you tell me," where he's going off on the cop,
Yep.
But it was there's one real big part, and I mean, we don't have to dive completely into it if
No,
we don't
it's
want.
fine.
But it's the
You
part
guys go ahead. Yeah.
It's the original Aunt Viv.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew she was coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did too, but I didn't realize how big and powerful that part was going to be.
Right.
Really, I'll have to.
Right.
I need to watch it definitely.
Because it was at first just Will, and
Yeah.
Aunt Viv first, and then they brought her back to the original set with the rest of the cast.
Right.
But it was really nice to see the reconciliation happening.
And it got a little difficult.
That's cool.
It was, yeah.
It was
to acknowledge that.
Was it kind of awkward to watch at times?
It was kind of awkward, yeah, but it turned out really well because there was,
Good.
the love offered at the very end, and Will Smith is like, "We good? Yeah, we're good." And then after so long,
right?
Yeah, that was a huge deal.
It was James Avery's passing, and and everything going on with Will Smith in his life right now.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely wants to make amends, with whatever happened in the past, and they dive into it. And boy, I've read parts about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the real story until you hear it straight from those two.
Right.
And wow, it's that. I mean, for me, that and the James Avery tribute.
Yes.
Those are the two biggest parts. This was an hour, 15-minute special.
Right.
It was amazing. Some of the cast looked the same.
Yes.
Like little Carlton still look like Carlton. Jazz, DJ Jazzy
oh my
Jeff.
gosh.
Yeah, you don't age, man. Like he's immortal. Like him and Keanu Reeves are both these immortal people walking the earth.
And they go over, they revisit him being thrown out of the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And
so
they
much.
talk about like how that was done and how many takes he had to do.
Right.
So you see the and
that's
he was
awesome.
On one episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was reading about that. Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with it. Like
He's not a monster. Yeah, because he and the Fresh Prince were a rap and producer duo. So I'm so glad he was. He added so much to it. And you just see the absolute gratefulness in all of them, including Will. Will knows this skyrocketed him to Independence Day, to Men in Black, everything he's done, to Hancock. None of that would have been possible without the Fresh Prince. And that was Quincy Jones taking a shot on him. That was the cast, because you wouldn't have the Fresh Prince if you didn't have that cast.
And they even talk about the chemistry that they had to have.
Right.
Oh,
and just, wow. Especially, right now we're in the pandemic. It's a hard time. This is such a great time. You get to watch something and feel good. Remember the good old days. What comes up? The good old days.
Right.
And it's all from the set. It's all from that original set. And that's
cool.
Yeah.
Part of me too, it was kind of interesting to watch because they, the episodes that we talked about that really touched, back on the issues that, they were having back then. And we still have the same problems. 27 years later, I'm like, there was nothing.
Right.
Like, we could still watch this and it's still relevant today.
Right.
Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith commented on that directly about like it hasn't changed. And that it's so sad. And it's still but it also makes what the Fresh Prince and the messages it had is still so relevant. And it's going to be a timeless, series. Like it came out, almost 30 years ago. It stood the test of time, and the actress who played Hillary even said, like, you have people saying, "My kids just got into this. My kids just started watching Fresh Prince."
Yeah, my son just started watching Fresh Prince. Like he absolutely loves it though. Like he wants to watch an episode like every night.
At the very end of it, he's got to watch the reunion though.
Mm-hmm.
It adds so much depth to it. And there's some parts we've seen. Like if you've watched every episode, you've seen when they do like Carlton does the run through their entire set.
Yes.
We've seen it, but it's so cool to see, and it's so cool to get the commentary because as viewers, we just got to talk amongst ourselves.
Right.
We get to hear them. And I loved that. We got to be a part of the conversation that they're having. And HBO Max did an amazing job with this. I was expecting something good. What we got was amazing.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
If you're looking for something to watch, or if you're just in love with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, much like probably the three of us are, you need to watch it. You need to go get HBO Max. and watch it, and you will not be disappointed.
I'm definitely gonna have to watch it. We're planning on watching it this weekend for sure.
Oh, perfect.
I'm
Let us know
excited
what
to
you
see
think.
it. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see it, and I think it's going to be great. And I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of emotion this weekend. Just saying, Supernatural, Fresh Prince.
Hydrate. Make sure you hydrate.
Oh
Lots of
man,
tissues.
it's going to be crazy, man. Like Fresh Prince was one of those shows that's super relevant. And I was actually watching one episode with my son a couple days ago, and just like Don Cheadle shows up.
Yes.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah,
they
they mentioned that.
they
one.
mentioned Don
Do they?
Cheadle.
Okay, yeah. I was like, geez, I didn't like. Obviously, when you're younger, like you don't know, like
Right.
but like freaking Don Cheadle. Like my son looks at me and he's like, is that Rhodey? It's
That's
like,
Wormington right there. Yeah.
yep, that's Rhodey. So yeah,
Oh,
it's good.
So
Times,
make sure you check that out. You're going to have a very emotional weekend, but I would like to kind of turn the tables and ask you a question, Kevin.
Yes.
And it should be something very positive. So I know somebody who got an interview, an amazing actor.
Oh, yes.
And I know you had the chance to sit down with Mr. James Duvall.
Yes,
I
Mr.
just
James
wanted to ask
Duvall.
you, how did that go?
That went incredible. I don't know if you guys got the chance to watch it yet, but he was just one of the coolest guys I've ever had the opportunity to sit down with, and we, obviously like the pandemic is a horrible thing, and we want it to go away as much as possible, but I do feel like it has given us some opportunities to be able to speak to people we probably wouldn't have been able to normally before.
Oh, absolutely.
And he was one of those people, and I did kind of I gushed a little bit. I mean, I was, we were just chatting, but
No,
what's that?
not Kevin.
I had to like what do you do? Speaking of Will Smith, he told a story about watching Will Smith work on Independence Day and what real acting is, and how much of that stuff was improv. With the whole him carrying the alien and punching him, and all the dialogue was just improv. Like, who does that? But he had so many great stories, and he showed off his cool Donnie Darko mask, which I thought was freaking amazing. And just a solid dude. Like, it was so much fun, and he's one of those guys too who's just so like he likes talking to people. Like, he really enjoys, like, he's really grateful for what he gets to do, and he knows that people love his stuff, the people that do, and he's very grateful for that. So he was super cool. The interview, covers everything from Independence Day stories to his new movie, Beast Mode, which will be on video on demand December 1st. We also talked about Donnie Darko and one of my personal favorite movies of all time, Go. And I was just like to be able to talk to someone involved in one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time, like that meant so much. So,
and for him
definitely,
to be so cool,
Oh man, he's a great guy, but I do have a feeling that he would have just talked for hours,
so cool.
if we wanted, and
I know you would have wanted to.
Oh yeah, he a wonderful person to talk to, and it just continues the trend of all these great people that we've been getting who are open and who want, who are willing to answer pretty much any questions, and just, we've been super lucky to be able to get just awesome people so far, and we're gonna keep getting them, and it's great. So that interview is out on YouTube. You can also listen to it on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that fun stuff. If you guys are more
all the fun stuff,
SoundCloud, all that fun stuff, please, guys, check it out. Like, it was a lot of fun, and I highly recommend that anyone out there just watch it. Like, you'll definitely fall in love with the guy. Like, he's awesome. So yeah, definitely check that out. So now is the wonderful part of the show, Pastrami Nation, Popcorn Kernels, where we talk about the movie tidbits and things that have come out over the past week, little bits of movie news and such. And I think one of the biggest pieces of movie news we had this past week, I actually think we talked about it on the last Popcorn, but the fact that they've officially announced that Wonder Woman is coming to HBO Max and theaters simultaneously.
Christmas Day. Right?
Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. What do you guys think about that? You guys?
I'm excited,
I like the decision.
but we have to find an open theater.
We have driven to Vegas before to do it. We'll do it again.
Right? No.
I want to experience it on the big screen, but it's so cool to have the option to watch it on the smaller screen, because it's also something I like to enjoy, you know, maybe with, you know, my brothers or whatnot. Maybe they don't want to travel that far. We do. We love just going out there and finding theaters.
Right. That's awesome.
What do you think, Kevin? I mean, I know the theater experience is very big for you. Are you okay with this dual release?
Yeah, I think it kind of bothered me a little bit at first. I was like, honestly, I'm the type of person that would have, as much as I wanted to see it now, like I would have waited another year if I had to see it at a theater where it's safe. But I mean, I started thinking about it. I'm like, it's still coming to theaters. Like I can see it at a theater if I need to. Like if I could find a theater, I'll go see it at a theater. But it'll be on HBO Max, and I'll be able to watch it, you know, with my family and not pay, you know, ridiculous amounts to go watch it. So it's a benefit. I think it's cool. I think HBO Max I think they pulled a smart move, especially for Christmas, like Christmas Day. That's Disney Plus is doing that too with Soul. You know, Soul is coming out to Disney Plus on Christmas Day. So I think, and that's going to be free. They're not going to do the Mulan thing where they make you pay extra. Where they make you pay an extra $30 or whatever. And I'm glad they're not doing it with Wonder Woman either.
Right.
I think it's an awesome business decision too, because I'm pretty sure HBO Max is doing pretty good, but I feel like this is just gonna. I mean,
you're building your brand, and you're doing it so well because you already had everybody interested in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
so now
exactly
presenting yourself as like this is the home of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
So smart move, HBO Max. I mean, we're subscribers, so
it's so am I, and it's funny though. Like So the day before they made the announcement, they announced that it was HBO Max was available on the Fire devices, so like Amazon Fire Stick and stuff like that, because it hadn't been before. And so we downloaded it, and then the next day the news comes out that Wonder Woman's coming to HBO Max, and I'm like, now they're just trying to like get as many devices as they can get it on, so they can sell, you know, HBO Max, which is cool, like totally cool. Like it's a smart business decision, and I think. You know, I think they definitely know what they're doing, and it'll be exciting. It'll be interesting to see. So we shall see how that works. So it'll be fun. Christmas Day, check it out on HBO Max or at theaters if you can. If you feel safe enough to go to a theater and find a theater, please go see it at the theater. The theater experience still needs to thrive. So
nothing beats that. Yeah.
What's that?
Nothing beats the theater experience.
Nothing beats the theater experience. Speaking of theaters, hopefully a movie that will be coming out to theaters eventually, that was just kind of officially announced today, so it'll be a while before it's even made. Deadpool 3 has officially been announced in the works. This is just super interesting to me, though. Like, I've been waiting for Deadpool 3. I'm just curious how Disney's going to handle Deadpool 3. I think
a lot of people think it's going to be, Mickey Mouse, to where, they're going to tone it down. I don't. I really think they're going to stay true to the rated R nature, and Disney's going to start building that brand of having also, more mature content.
I hope so.
They also have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you get a Punisher movie, I guarantee you he has to kill people.
Oh yeah, has to be rated R. Yeah.
Deadpool. I mean, we were actually just talking about Deadpool right beforehand. Deadpool 1 was a hard rated R movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hard rated R.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 was more R for the violence.
Right, and it was just more fun. I felt like it was a little bit lighter.
More comic, right? Like it felt more like a comic versus
very
like
much so.
Raunch, because that's kind of the word that I got of Deadpool 1 was like raunchy. Like let's shove every rated R thing we can in here because we might not get a chance to do it again.
Right, exactly.
And then Deadpool 2, I mean, they had me with the Juggernaut. I was like, that's perfect. Juggernaut's in there. I'm happy. And Cable, I'm over the moon. So, I mean, Deadpool 3, we don't know who the villain would be, but I did hear a rumor.
Ooh, what's that?
Thanos.
Oh.
Because
Ooh.
Thanos and
Ooh.
Death both have played a very big part in Deadpool's universe. I would like for them to go more of the original ongoing series of Deadpool. And it had a lot of like lower characters you didn't really hear about, like had Warpath and Siren from X-Force.
See,
But
that'd be cool.
and it was about Deadpool's fall from grace. It was like, hey, I'm gonna try to do good. Let me do good in my life. And then things kept happening to him where he finally hit the literal rock bottom. Every bad thing that could happen did. And you actually felt bad for him. There was a really cool fight at the Field of Dreams, which, I mean, I would love to see that on the big screen. Like, let me see, Warpath go toe-to-toe with Deadpool in the Field of Dreams. Like, yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And that's what a Deadpool movie should be, I think. I don't think they should try to streamline it into the MCU at all. Like, it has to be its own thing, obviously.
Right. And I think Thanos would tie it way too much because, Thanos
although I don't know, I kind of like want to see Thanos in a Deadpool movie now. Like, I know obviously Josh Brolin,
get killed, that helium factor. Like, what can the Mad Titan do to him? Like,
yeah, that would be something else. I hope. I don't know. I don't know what I want from a Deadpool 3 now. I'm so confused.
I want Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. That's
Ryan Reynolds. We do know though that we obviously don't have a director yet, but the original 2 writers who wrote the first 2 aren't coming back either.
Right.
So we have Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux, who are writers on Bob's Burgers right now, have been hired to write the script. So I can see that.
Show.
Yeah, it's a super funny show. Like, I think it'll work. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what direction. And Kevin Feige is actually going to be directly involved in it. He's actually going to produce it, like he's done all the other MCU movies. But I do think he's smart enough to know though that you can't make Deadpool into a streamline. Like, you kind of have to let the filmmakers just go with it. And,
yeah. Don't shoehorn him into another X-Men film. He is not like he's Deadpool. Let him be Deadpool.
Even though the scenes, I think it was in part 2 where he runs into like the first class people and they're just hanging out in the.
He opens the door.
He opens the door. I love that so much. That's so funny. But yeah, so definitely we'll keep an eye out for that. And I don't know, a couple of years, hopefully by that point, theaters will be back open. The world will be back to normal, and
it will by then. Absolutely.
This horrible thing will be over.
And by the time Deadpool 3 comes out, Kevin will have finally gotten over the supernatural ending.
Fine. I will have finally gotten over it, and then I will just not talk about it anymore.
Change his supernatural tattoo to a Hubie Halloween one.
Oh. And then add a thermos.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm going to do it. Just add a thermos right in the middle there somewhere.
Yes.
Do it.
One more thing I actually kind of want to talk about real quick. We all know that Coming to America 2 is coming to Amazon Prime. Today we got an official release date for it, which is March 5th. So it's a couple more months.
Right? Like, we know
we haven't seen any.
Eddie Murphy's still coming back.
Eddie Murphy's still coming back. They're all coming back. Arsenio's back. But as far as I know, it's we haven't seen a trailer, or I don't think we've seen any stills for it yet either.
Oh. I mean, I love the original, so
yeah. You got Arsenio Hall, James Earl Jones is back, joined by Wesley Snipes, Leslie Jones, Tracy Morgan. I mean, it's got a great cast. So yeah, it'll be fun to watch. It'll be interesting. So I'm excited for that.
Absolutely.
That will be good. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else you guys wanted to bring up before we.
That was all the news I had. What about you, Rebecca?
That's it for us.
Yeah, no. I did read actually one interesting thing, just real quick. Sorry. There's a Tetris movie coming out, but it's not what you think. I thought this was super interesting. It's actually got Taron Egerton, Kingsman, and Rocket Man, and anyways, it's called Tetris the movie, but it's the behind the scenes battle between, I guess, one of the guys. Taron Egerton plays a character who licenses the rights for the games to release it, and I guess there's this huge legal battle that ensued behind the scenes of the game.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be focusing on that. I actually just read about it today. I was like, that actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's called Tetris the Movie, which I thought was really cool.
We'll be on the lookout for that. I mean, I'm a
Yeah,
fan of
definitely.
to learn more.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I just thought that was cool. I don't know.
Oh, I agree. Very good, Colonel.
Mhm.
Yeah, very good, Colonel. But yeah, let's see. What else? Yeah, definitely. So yeah, unless you guys had anything else, I think we are good. Yeah, make sure to visit pastramination.com for news, reviews, more, and check out some cool interviews we have on there. We've had quite a few interviews go up the last couple weeks, so they're, we also have some on the face. If you go to Pastrami Nation on Facebook, you'll see all the Facebook lives and all that stuff that we've done. And yeah,
Right.
it's been
Talked to Bluefin this week. Bluefin was fantastic.
Bluefin. Yeah,
Go check that out. David Clark is always a great guy to talk about. He talks about Transformers and Kamen Rider and gifts for the holiday. And I mean,
that's cool.
David's been an amazing guy. We've known him for quite a few years now, and we're just excited for what Bluefin has to offer. So go check that out. It is up on Facebook, YouTube, and it's on Twitter.
Nice. Well, very cool. Well, yeah. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right. Have a good one.